Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Michaela Copeland here. Now today's video is about what happens when you're finally seen by your gender clinic. Now I waited 5 weeks short of 4 years before I could even be seen by the gender clinic. My first appointment was with one of the nurses at 5016 Street at Trans Plus where my gender clinic is, which I switched over from Charing Cross because I would have waited at least 5 years for a first appointment. And at my first appointment, I just had to go over a little bit of my history. I had to have bloods done for just like to find out what my hormones were, because I was approaching 2 years in hormones. I was about 6 weeks shy of being on hormones legally, which the first 6 months after I start hormones, I was self-medicating, which is ill-advised. But after that ran out, I started going private with Gender GP, and in my blood test, it found out that I was not immune to hepatitis B, so I had to have a hepatitis B injection, and in my other arm, I had to have an HPV vaccine, so I had to have 3 needles in total, which I do not like blood. I do not like needles. I physically cannot look when I have blood tests and all that because I just do not like needles. And on the 13th of this month, I've got my Debacaptile injection, which when I do our bottom surgery, I will not need to have any more. And yeah, the nurse Richard is really, really nice. And 4 weeks later, I saw a psychologist, Dr. Karen Gurney, who wrote me my first medical report so I can get started on my GRC. And we had a basic talk, which I did include the things for my information gathering session from when I was going private with Gender GP, and also talk about my history, which was very difficult because I did know from a very, very early age. And I also told her that I definitely did want to have bottom surgery because that gives me major bottom dysphoria. I still have a lot of bottom dysphoria. And yeah, and after my meeting, I was waiting in one of the waiting rooms a couple of floors above, waiting for my prescription. And when I got back home, I sent an email to Gender GP, an urgent one, saying that I'm now on NHS care and that I don't need to go private anymore. And walking back to the train station, I just could not believe it. And I actually told her that I really want to have bottom surgery because I'm not male. I need it to feel complete. And also she asked about what gender dysphoria is like to me, and I just explained to her that to me gender dysphoria is like you live in a prison inside yourself because what you see on the outside doesn't match who I am on the inside, which back in 2018 when I came out, my eldest brother asked me what it was like, and I said the same thing to him, and he told me to shut up, that's not what it's really like, which, how can he know because he is not trans, which I know a lot of other trans people, they would agree with me and they put it into similar wording. And also, the end of March 2023, I had my first sign off for bottom surgery with Dr. Gurney. She is a really, really nice woman. And then middle of July that year, I had my second sign off with Dr. Lorimer, who works for Gender Care. He actually was the one that set it up, and he does work for the Gender Clinic in Wales. Unfortunately, because of my brain injury, I had to have a capacity test, which again I had with Dr. Gurney, and she was impressed that I've been doing my researching about how vaginoplasty works, and about researching about dilating, which July last year I had to go to Nuffield Health Brighton to meet my surgeon, Mr. Lana, and I got my consent form, which I did sign, but unfortunately the full vaginoplasty consent form, somehow Brighton got mixed up and they sent me someone else. So I immediately emailed Debbie Kelly, who's Mr. Lana's PA. She thanked me, she sent me a new one, and I signed it and dated it and sent it back. And now I just need to finish the rest of laser, which I'm about a third of the way done, and by October I will be in Brighton having my lower surgery, and that would be transition complete as far as medical. I still need to take hormones, but 2 to 4 weeks before I have surgery, I've got to stop estrogen, and I can only start taking hormones again 3 weeks afterwards. 8 weeks after bottom surgery, I got to go back to Brighton to see Mr. Lana again, and I'm not too sure what that is. I think it's about how I'm coping with everything. The only thing that worries me is that I don't have any family support, which I am hoping that my dad will accept me, and because I have been through a lot. I spent a long time waiting for a gender clinic appointment, and I'm hoping that my dad would accept me, because when I first came out nearly 7 years ago, all the time my dad was on about it. Then he kept going on about how I'm not a woman, as I've yet to have bottom surgery. I mean, I've been through a hell of a lot. I've done so much in my transition. It's cost me a lot of money, whether it's when I was going private for my hormones, a new wardrobe, which you can see some on my wardrobe, makeup, counselling, which I had to pay for a couple of counselling sessions when I was with Gender GP, and what I'm trying to do now is help out the baby trans people who are just like me, who just coming up, who just may have just came out and just started their medical transition, because back when I was baby trans, I did have a lot of help, and I just repaying the favour, because us in the trans community, we do look out for one another, and I'm in quite a few trans groups. It just really is difficult that for some people, they'll never ever accept me, which I might not be able to accept everyone, but for them people who don't accept me, fuck them. They can just get in the bin for all I care. If you haven't done so already, be sure to smash that like button, press the subscribe button and turn that little bell notification on. Do please leave a comment down below in the description box, and I'll see you very soon. So this is Miss Michaela Copeland of The Michaela Show. Much love to you, wherever you may be in the world. I'll see you very soon, everyone. Bye.